Hey, what's going on, guys? John Shea here from the No Shame Income vlog, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to talk about a comparison between gaming chairs and an ergonomic chair, right? So something that's been a huge thing for me is, as an entrepreneur, as someone that works from home, someone that's constantly at the computer. I know many of you out there spend a lot of time behind the computer, and if you're spending any significant amount of time behind a computer, then most likely you're sitting in a chair for the bulk of that time, unless of course you have a standing desk. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the differences between basically these two types of chairs, some of the pros and cons, and really give you my thoughts as someone that has actually spent a significant amount of money on both of these styles of chairs. So before we dive into today's video, if you guys are brand new here on the channel or you're a returning visitor, be sure to throw me a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification as I'm releasing new videos each and every week. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave me a comment on the video and I'll be sure to get back to you. So let's dive into today's video. Alright, so I'm actually in my office now, and I do have a prior video which, I basically went through and did kind of an office overview video. So definitely check out my channel on that one. But what I want to focus on in this video again is really comparing these two types of chairs. So on the left, we have the Autonomous ErgoChair 2. This is a really amazing chair that has a lot of really good reviews online. Last I checked, I believe the price point was about $330. And on the right, we have a little bit older model DXRacer chair, which I bought on a Black Friday sale. I think at the time it may have retailed over $400, and this one is actually a chair that I bought about 3 years ago now. So, there was a big craze, and it still really is happening within the gaming community to have these gaming chairs. It's like kind of a highlight, right? If you're doing Twitch streaming, if you're doing anything where you're gonna be on camera, it's something I definitely got a lot of comments about, even just talking with business professionals. When you have this really cool chair that you're sitting in, people tend to notice that. It just really helps you stand out in a different way. But the biggest thing for me was that, it wasn't necessarily having something that looked cool, but also that was really comfortable. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit and the differences. We'll start with the DXRacer chair first, because this was the chair that I initially had when I actually first stepped into the world of spending over $300 on a chair. So some of the things you have here with this chair is you basically have these bolsters up here on the right, and unfortunately my cat has had its way with this one, so it's gotten a little rough. But this is a very rugged material. Everything is very, very firm. The stitching on a lot of these chairs is really nice. You can see they've done a high quality job. Nothing is like ripping or tearing. Even after the cat getting to this, it's held up very well over the years. You do have this head pillow, which basically attaches here with this strap, so it's not like embedded into the chair, it moves around, but this works pretty well for what it is. In terms of the seat itself, you do also have a lumbar support pillow, which one of my biggest faults was that I didn't use this when I first started using the chair, and I think that's what actually led to some of my back problems. But I remember the first week I got this chair, regardless, with using this without, I actually remember having a significant amount of back pain the first week that I had it. And it was one of those things where I had spent so much money on the chair, it was kind of like I told myself, hey, I'm just gonna get used to it. It was pretty much a similar deal even when I first got a mattress years ago that I spent over $1,000 on. I remember trying it in the actual showroom and going, hey, this mattress is amazing, and when I took it home that first week, I had a really hard time sleeping and just adjusting to the mattress. So I kind of took it the same way with the chair, that I'd been so used to using this other chair that it just was going to take some time to get used to. And I think one of the problems that ultimately stemmed for me using a chair like this was that despite some of the adjustments, I just tend to basically lean forward and lean into my keyboard and monitor while I'm sitting. So it's caused me to have like slouching issues and ultimately lead to poor posture. Now, I'm not going to 100% blame that on the chair, because some of that is just me not being aware of some of those things happening and, probably better correcting my posture, sometimes folding my legs while I'm in the chair. But I found this to be a little bit more, it's very, very firm. Like you can see here, this does have a pretty good cushion, but it's not like the softest thing in the world. If you compare it to this other chair, the Ergo, this thing is basically a massive pillow, where this thing's kind of like a firm, just like square piece of foam, right? It's a lot firmer than something like this Ergo chair. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of the other things with this that I did like. You have a ton of adjustments in the arms here. You can literally twist them. You can go back and forth. You can raise them up and down. So you have tons of flexibility in what you can do with the chair in terms of like adjustments. You also have over here on the right side, you can actually adjust this and move the chair up and down different positions. You could literally go all the way backwards and practically be falling asleep or lounging. It's got a really, really good support on the base. So you've got all the wheels here in the bottom. It, you know, very freely moves across the floor without much issue. It's got a nice style here at the bottom. And you've also got the ability to, of course, like any other chair, you've got your adjustments here, so you can make adjustments to the height of the chair, among other things. So you pretty much have everything you can need in terms of adjustment. Overall though, I think the biggest problem with this was that I just didn't like the fact that the lumbar pillow is basically this loose piece here. You're constantly adjusting it, moving it up and down. It's not really something that's just like always gonna be exactly the same every time you use it. So that was my biggest downfall with this chair. Otherwise, all of the functionality of it, being able to move it and adjust it the way that you might want, is pretty good, right? It's pretty much just like having a car seat with a power seat in it almost. Now let's move over to the Autonomous ErgoChair. Now the reason I moved to this is I was having significant issues with back pain, and I just said, you know what, I really want to try something else and see how it goes. And I have definitely noticed a difference in combination with doing some back strengthening exercises. But one of the biggest things you'll see here right off the bat is the headrest is actually adjustable and built into this, right? So it's not a pillow. I can basically take this and adjust this any way I want. I can move this in different angles, and I can also go up and down. And this usually stays pretty solid. It's not really gonna go anywhere like this other pillow might do, right? The next thing is you have a mesh back here. So it's basically just more breathable, right? You know, if you were sitting here, you're not really gonna have as much issue just like having that extra, you know, padding here. While it may seem like it's a good thing, this actually is very, very supportive, and I found it to be even better with the fact that you've got the lumbar actually built right into the chair behind this. And if you look at this, and in fact, if you compare the two, I mean, if you look at both of these, I'm gonna put them side by side, you can see this literally just goes down a whole slope, and then the lumbar pillow is just there. If you look at this chair, it actually angles down, comes down, and then has kind of a swoop at the bottom to support your back. Now, in addition to that, you also have the lumbar piece, which can be adjusted. This can basically go up or down in any range. So if you were taller or shorter, you might be able to adjust this better to your back. It's not massively flexible in terms of what it can do, but you know, this basically is gonna support your low back, and that's where I thought this was amazing, right? The other thing with this chair is it also has the ability to kind of follow you as you go, right? So if I tried to slouch forward, the chair is actually gonna kind of come with me and follow my back. Whereas in this chair, I found that I either had to adjust it forward or adjust it back. And if I had it too forward, I was always like sitting way up straight, and it was almost like too much. Like I can't really, you know, get into that relaxed position. Either I'm rocking back and forth or I'm not. In this case, this chair kind of follows you where you go. That was basically the biggest difference. And I found that, you know, this was something where I could sort of have more of that relaxed feel being able to go back, whereas this thing's just, it felt more stiff. It felt like it's kind of coming with me. So that's probably the biggest thing here. You do also have adjustments in the back here. You can make adjustments for the actual back of the chair. You also have similar deal with the armrests. You can move these in a similar way. I don't think these are quite as adjustable as the gaming chair. You can see here, I don't have the ability, I can go up and down, and I think I can do some other adjustments here, but it's, again, a little bit more limited on the armrests. And I know for some people that could be a big deal, because you could be in a circumstance where a certain desk or the way you like your arm height could be a problem for you. Other than that, pretty basic on the base here. And then of course you have your normal adjustments. You can make adjustments to the seat and how it's gonna sit, the height of the seat, and really all the above. So pretty standard stuff in terms of height adjustment, but obviously the aesthetic of this chair, while it looks like really nice, it's definitely not as cool looking as the gaming chair, as you can see, with all the red stitching and the colors and just everything else, and kind of using it as a showpiece, right? I don't get comments on this chair as a cool thing to have. Now, if I were to have done it all over, I definitely would have gone with the ergonomic chair, and the reason for that is that I specifically would much rather be in a comfortable position all day and not having back pain, versus maybe having something that's gonna look cool on a stream or like on a video or whatever it is, right? So I've now kind of made this my secondary chair. These were both very similar price points, and if you actually look around in the market, you will notice that there's quite a few chairs that are in the gaming space. You'll find some that are wider than this. You could fit, you know, very, like if you were a large person, you could sit in this thing with like no issue whatsoever. But at the same time, I think ultimately this is just a more comfortable chair, has better back support, and you're gonna have just an overall like more solid feel in terms of your movement, and you know, really something that's going to be good for everyday use. I think if you're someone that's maybe only spending like maybe 2 to 3 hours a day, and you're very like modestly using the computer, maybe you're just like, hey, I'm gonna go jump on a game for like 2 hours a night, I think you'd be perfectly fine with a gaming chair, and this isn't gonna be an issue. If you're working all day at a computer, if you're, like in my case, right, I might wake up, get my day going, I'm already at the computer at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then I'm working on the computer all day long until like 5 or 6, and then I decide to go have dinner, go do something else, maybe, recline on a couch for a night, maybe during the week. And then say 8 o'clock rolls around and I want to go play some video games with my buddies. I'm now back in this chair for, a couple more hours. So within a whole day, I've probably spent anywhere from 8 to 10 hours or more sitting in a chair at the computer. So if that's your situation, if you're someone that's spending a significant amount of time at the computer, I do highly recommend going with the autonomous chair or some form of ergonomic chair. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm actually going to leave a link in the description below for both of these companies. Well, I believe DXRacer is definitely one of the higher quality chairs of the gaming chairs. I'd say it's really up to you and what you decide, but if you're looking for comfort, again, looking for something with more longevity in terms of comfort, I would definitely go with an ergo chair. If you're looking for something that looks cool, you can sit on it for a few hours, not really need to worry too much about it, and you want something that looks cool, definitely go with something like a DXRacer or one of the other competitors that offers a gaming chair. Again, if you guys like this video, be sure to throw me a thumbs up on the video. Feel free to leave me any comments. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I'm going to be releasing new videos each and every week. And again, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.